Morning. Oh, great. Morning, everybody. Are you able to see my slides and hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so thanks very much for the introduction, Harith. It's become a bit of a tradition to me to do a little bit of a update on the incubator, or introduction to the incubator at the beginning of these events. So I'm Teare, I'm chair of the Methodology Incubator, and we're hosting this event today as one of our functions to raise awareness of the funding opportunities for methodologists. So we are the NIHR Incubator for methodology. The NIHR has set up this incubator initiative to help where there's a recognised issue with research capacity. These are career-focused initiatives, and it allows a bespoke community-driven approach. So the first role of any incubator is to bring together the stakeholders and partners to form the foundations for building these identifiable communities. So early in the life of the incubator, we had to sort of adopt a definition, a usable definition of what we meant by an NIHR methodologist. And this was really to clarify who we were including and who we were relevant for. And we eventually agreed this rather broad definition so that this would be really inclusive. And we felt this was really important because there's many methodologists who've trained via very interesting and fairly non-standard routes. So you'll see it says "and others" on this slide. So, you know, if your specialism is not listed here, don't worry. If you feel you can identify with what we're about, then this incubator is definitely for you. So as I've said, the incubator is about it's about careers and seeking to increase the research capacity by attracting, retaining and rewarding people in methodological research. And an important emphasis of the incubator is supposed to increase the opportunities and raise awareness of these opportunities, and particularly for methodologists to do their own research and to be able to secure funding towards it. So right now we have 7 active work streams. Obviously, you're going to hear all about the economics work stream today. We have these, it may look like an interesting mix of work streams. It sort of reflects the history that went into why the incubator was formed. So we have 3 sort of discipline-focused work streams. The stats and the economics ones grew from 2 incubator proposals. The qualitative work stream is actually new and has been formed from new members following our incubator webinar launch last year. And the 2 application-focused work streams also grew from 2 other original proposals. And they're looking at the practical challenges of growing research capacity in emerging research areas. So just to finish here, to let you know, we have got another event planned in November for the qualitative work stream launch, so look out for notices about that. And I really hope you enjoy the event today and find it useful. We're always looking for new members to get involved in the work stream, so please tell your colleagues about the Methodology Incubator. We're really keen to get early career researchers involved, and if you're interested to know anything more about it, just contact me at the address there. So thanks very much, and I'll hand over to Matt now.
Great, thanks ever so much, Dawn. So I suppose Dawn has said essentially economics is one of the work streams in Methods Incubator, and I was very grateful when Dawn was so supportive that we would have an economics work stream. We've been going basically since the start of the incubator. And essentially, the people who are sort of running the work stream are myself, and then the 3 people who are chairing the different sessions today. So Harith, who's kind of the driving force behind the event today, Claire Hume and Andy Briggs, who are all online and will be chairing later on. So first thing we did at the start of the work stream was to send out a short survey to get people's views on potentially the direction we should take our work. And so what we were asking people was essentially, what did they think were the biggest challenges for people who were trying to establish a career in economics of health and social care? And then what could a major funder like the NIHR do to sort of help them address those challenges? So what did they think we should be pushing the NIHR for in terms of kind of supporting methodology work? We only had a short window in which people could respond because we wanted to sort of do our shortlisting of priorities quite quickly. We got over 50 responses, so that was really good. And one thing I would say, we're having a feedback form for this event, and we'll attach the survey to that. So if you didn't get a chance to fill it in sort of back in December of last year, you'll have a second chance to kind of let us know what you think the big challenges are for economists and what you think NIHR might be able to do. As we were getting going, the UK Health Economist Study Group, so HESG, they got their early career committee going, and that's been a really positive, really energetic group. So rather than kind of create an early career committee of our own, what we decided to do was to collaborate with them. And we had a sort of joint member between the incubator and the early career committee. That was Jo Charles. She's now left, and so actually there is a vacancy for that if anybody wants to take up a role sort of straddling the incubator and HESG. So basically our 5 priorities from the survey responses, I'll just go through each of these. So the first ones, people really talked about opportunities to get funding for methodological development, but not the sort of major methods grants, but more where you've identified an issue within, say, an applied grant that you're one of the co-applicants on, and you've not got time within that grant to get the work done. And so you want a bit of protected time to do some methodological development coming out of a large applied grant. And that might be like the first PI grant for a sort of mid-career economist. So we're sort of working with NIHR about whether there are sort of possible funding vehicles that people could use for that, for a dedicated period of methods development, something like £30,000 to £50,000, say, over a 6-month period. And other things that people talked about was being a PI on a grant for the first time, which is essentially why Harith has put together that. So our second priority was getting this workshop going. And I mean, it's great to see so many people here. One of the other areas we're working with NIHR on is to get a bit more advice to people on what types of economics research are needed for different types of evidence users. So as we've sort of seen economics move, or NIHR move towards social care, it's becoming obvious that some of the things that we have taken as standard within health economics are not going to be useful for the kind of evidence users in social care. Similar things you might say about public health. So we're starting to work with NIHR programs about giving a bit more advice to people when they're applying about what types of economics you might do in what types of situations, to avoid this kind of disagreements between, say, panel members, applicants, and reviewers of grant applications about what types of economics should be done when and where. And the last 2 things that we've yet to get going, but are things we want to do, is promoting training in new specialist methods. So people said that particularly when the new method was introduced, there wasn't really much opportunity to learn about those new specialist methods in a sort of accessible training format. And so we're looking at ways to promote training in new specialist methods as kind of health economics continues to develop. And the other one was improving awareness and understanding of economics careers. And the best example there is, for example, we might create some typical economics CVs so that people can show their institutions when they're hiring or promoting what an economics CV looks like. Because we know that economists tend to have slightly different career pathways than other disciplines in health research. So there are 5 kind of more economics methods funding, better training in taking the lead on grants as a PI, what types of economics you might expect in which types of programs within NIHR, training in new specialized methods, and then this improving understanding of what an economics CV looks like. I'll finish up now, but just a couple of things just to say at the end. So if you want to know more about the incubator, or if you want to get more involved in helping us and deliver on some of this, please do get in touch with me. You can find me on Google, just Matt Sutton Manchester, and you'll see a photo from 25 years ago, but my email address will be up to date. And then just a final thing, just a really big thank you to Harith and to Amanda Wilson for organising today. It's really great to see this happening, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Thanks a lot.